Episode 184 of the show that is only getting better. Not because of me, but because of all of you out there. Community-based show, this is AM Radio for a modern age. We're hanging out. Where are we going to go tonight? I don't have a ton planned. It's a Tuesday. It's a special edition, but maybe you should get used to Tuesdays. Is that a wink or a hammer fall on my head? All right. We'll take some calls. I think we're going to do some Game of Thrones tonight. Wanted to talk Game of Thrones. So, God bless it. I did want to rewatch the Game of Thrones episode we're going to be talking about tonight. But we got all the folks checking in. Producer Steve will be here in a second. David Mackay, Laserbolt, Kingsport Cows back in chat live. Svetnik's here. Taco Tuesday. I might have some tacos tonight. It's possible, but not for Taco Tuesday. David says, Tuesday, the Monday link, or the Thursday link? It is a great question. It's the Monday link. But we're going to switch that. Kingsport Cal says, which link to use for calls? Don't tag me, Cal. Yes. Use the link that's normally associated with Mondays to call in today. How do you call into the show? Let's handle some business up top. Oh, let's handle some goddamn business. Call into the show by becoming a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Napzok. I am happy to report. I don't know if anyone's going to be interested, but I'm happy to report that I am 2/3 of the way done to recording my director's commentary, if you will, on some old footage from my comedy past. Having a lot of fun. Like, I thought there was going to be like a little 20-minute little video. The last one, I finished it about 10 minutes ago. It's an hour long. So it'll probably bore the hell out of all you. But you can see some cool things from my comedy past. And I talk about some of the good things, the bad things, lessons learned, nostalgia. And holy shit, do you get to see me wearing some horrible clothes. Holy shit. I'm embarrassed, but also I can't wait for Producer Steve to see some of the outfits that I wore. Producer Steve will jump in a second to laugh at my polo shirts. This is a tougher day if you're engaged politically, and if you're engaged politically in America. But I know we have listeners from around the world who remain engaged in their own politics and pay attention to America. And I actually really appreciate that. Folks like Andrew Cook and David Mackay who don't just stay within the confines of their own beautiful countries. They understand what's going on here and how it affects them. And I wish we paid more attention to the rest of the world too. It's a symbiotic circle, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would say. But today's a tough day. The big beautiful bill, though I hear Chuck Schumer is really proud that they got him to change the name. Passed in the Senate. Back to the House, but it's kind of here. It's kind of foregone conclusion in my mind at this point, but not necessarily the case. But yeah. And then we got some. It's just really disappointing, overwhelming, depressing, and this is going to affect people. It's going to affect me. I'm one of the people that will lose. Most likely, I'll say most likely to be fair, but most likely use my medical because I'm on Medi-Cal, which is Medicaid. Because not only a case of not making enough, but also like my job can't be tracked. It sucks I don't make as much money as I'd like from all my shows yet. You know, Force Center's an 8-hour day for me on Monday. I know, hero, hardworking guy. But that doesn't, I can't, if this bill passes and everything happens and goes in place and I have to work 20 hours a week to get medical, which I love that my right to get medical treatment, if I fall and break my arm and I am not attached to a job that makes me eligible for medical or provides medical, then I just, sorry, you don't get the medical treatment you need and it's going to bury you financially. Let's not even talk about cancer, heart attacks, strokes, anything like that. I fall and break my arm. I had a friend who not too long ago took a step, was leaving another friend's house. Good night, took a wrong step, ripped his goddamn knee apart. So whether or not he gets that knee handled properly is tied to a job he has. I do work. I work hard. Force Center is several hours a week, but that won't count towards any job. It's this weird place. I couldn't even get employment benefits when I lost my main job, which did start to sink me. But I do make money from other things, including the show. thanks YouTube for demonetizing some of my recent videos too, by the way, because I don't know, we said Palestine in it or something. Boom, ding. But that's not going to count. I got to go get in the system. I got to go get a W-2 job. I got to go help capitalism. While my personality, my pursuit of the arts are just my living, because it's not in that system, not in capitalism, but it's not in the W-2 and go stock some shelves at Target system. And I'm not entitled to medical. So it's one of those days. It's one of those days. And that's just the surface. And that's what's affected me directly. But Snap and ICE getting more money and the fear of the great other gets gets a big prop up today. And then it comes down to essentially comes down to one senator from Alaska, Lisa Murkowski, who's always one of those, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And then they cut a deal to save some things in Alaska. So she votes for it. It goes to a tie. And then one of the worst vice presidents in the history of America, one of the just more feckless human beings who uses the word of God in the name of God to justify some horrible actions and some horrible beliefs, breaks the tie, and here we are. And now that Senator Murkowski is appalled, I can't believe the bill advanced. There's the need to make some changes in the House over it. Fuck off, fuck you, fuck everything you've ever done and stood for, and fuck everything you try to do going forward. Producer Steve and I, we're going to do a little bit of a fuck that gal segment, but I don't even need it to be a segment now. Steve, scratch it off the list. Fuck Senator Murkowski. And not in a good way. In the fuck you, let's write you off. Let's write you off forever. So that's hanging over everything. Right? That's hanging over for everything. We're not even talking about the science of it. Thursday, maybe we'll bring back some 60 seconds of science, talk about some of the cuts, some of the stuff going on, tax credits for wind and solar and all this. We're not even talking about that. We're not even talking about the myth of trickle-down economics, which people love to cling to. But historians have said, yeah, it didn't work. It was a trick. We know now, 40 years on. It's a lie. There's so much stuff out there to be upset at. But today, I titled this episode, Let's All Touch Some Grass Together. Because we're having some fun today. All right? I woke up today early and went for a long walk, another one of my 5-mile walks with my friend Jason. And it's good for your health, good for mine. And if you have people in your life and you have the ability, and it isn't just about can you go out and get a walk in or whatever, but you have the ability to connect with people in front of you in real life. I'm so blessed by the community here. I'm so blessed by the friends I have in my life that I count as real friends, even though I haven't seen them in person in a while, or I've never met them. I've never met Ken Plume in person, but I talk to the dude every night on Fortnite, and he's such a solid person to hang out with. I've never met producer Steve, even though he claims twice I haven't. I'm kidding. We've met Alden Diaz, all these people that I have in my life that are all over the world. Daniel Falconer down in New Zealand. Shout out to him, his family, and the great country that he kind of wants me to go move to. But if you get people around you and you can connect with those people, I really recommend that. My friend Jason and I went for a great walk today, and we just talked about so many things about our lives and our lessons learned and regrets. And he said so many, he's such an insightful guy. I got to get him on the show or just sit down and do an interview with him. Today, the big lesson was, it came from my friend Jason Boggs, who's a great comic and sketch comic and actor, was that mourning is okay. I was talking about mourning a lot of the things in my life, career-wise, or where I've been or what I've done, and mourning some of it, but maybe I stop mourning that and process and move on. And he said, let me stop you there. Let me stop you. I'm going to push back on you there. Mourning is normal, natural. It's part of it, part of the process, part of what we do. You can mourn a loss. You can mourn where things are. You can mourn what you have left behind. The danger is the wallow. The wallow is what gets us. The wallow is the true danger. And I'm just talking about things in my comedy career, or relationships, whatever. But looking today, right now, there's a lot of justified mourning. But we can't wallow. We cannot wallow. We have to look to those who are fighting for the future now. Politicians are not easy to trust. In fact, you shouldn't trust politicians. Never at any point. But you could start by vetting them, finding the candidates you like, and getting behind those, particularly the next generation, not just looking to the future, but building it now. Zohran Mamdani in New York, who is already being predictably attacked by Democrats in a way that is so not surprising, it's surprising that Hakeem Jeffries would even waste 2 seconds to go on national TV to even begin to criticize Mamdani over comments already taken out of context. It's already been proven. It's already been talked about. It's already been discussed. Why would you waste 2 seconds to give that breath, to give that air, when he's part of the next generation and he's connected to something that's happening? Kat Abu-Ghazaleh, that I've mentioned several times. There's a great video I put on Blue Sky that you should watch. It's a YouTube channel that gave her 8 questions of why we should trust you. And the first thing she says is, you shouldn't trust me, but let my actions speak for my beliefs. Whether or not she wins the 9th District in Illinois is yet to be seen. Whether or not Mamdani actually becomes the mayor of New York City is yet to be seen. But they're fighting for now. AOC is fighting for now. Maxwell Frost fighting for now. Jasmine Crockett screaming and fighting for now. Mallory McMorrow up in Michigan, one of my favorites as well, fighting for now. On a day like today, where there's a lot of darkness, I choose to look forward because it is the only way out. It's the only way out. It's forward. Let's not wallow. Let's mourn. Let's continue to fight. On that note, I think I want to do some silly stuff. If you want to call into the show and talk serious stuff, if you'd like to help me explain to myself why I'm back to having Yoplait yogurts when I've been having these French yogurts, is it just because of the cost? Is that a good decision? Did I make the right choices on pizza this weekend? I don't know anything in your life, or if you just want to be here, part of the community. This show is a success, and it's getting better because you're all making it. Let's get producer Steve in here. Producer Steve, you got the 2-shot. I'll move you to the producer cam later, but we got to see your luxurious hair today. I can't hear you. Are you talking? Nope. You can't hear me? I cannot hear you. What's happened? Technical issues. What might happen? Oh, yeah, we can't hear Steve. So it's not just me, David McKay, right? Steve doesn't produce. Well, you stop that, Kingsport cow. You stop that. Producer Steve is a hero. Oh, nope, that is... There we go.
Anything?
Steve is on.
Am I back?
You're back, baby.
Goodness gracious.
Now you're back to producer. You had the 2-shot. You lost it. You're the producer cam now.
That's fair. That's understandable. I deserve that. That's been my day. I did want to show this. I mean, this is proof, Ken, that we've met each other. I know this isn't the best quality, but yeah, actually, this 2025, I should just put that on my screen. I don't know why I did it that way.
Yeah, put that.
Anyway,
put it on your
Ken,
screen.
it's been that kind of dude. It's been that kind of a day. I told you it's been that kind of a day. I wore my black shirt though. So
okay.
You should feel good about that at least.
Okay. Yeah, I do feel good about that. We look similar today.
I provided the comic relief coming out of your serious political talk, so at least that was natural, right?
Vermont Mike says this is just like my Zoom meetings. Yeah, I agree with that.
God, I don't need work PTSD right now. Let's not Zoom meet. Right. Yeah, that's every day. If I took a shot every time I was at work, Ken, and someone said you're on mute, not just to me, but I was in a meeting in which someone had to tell someone you're on mute, I would be hammered by 11:30 a.m. every single day.
When I was finishing up at the mall, video calls and stuff weren't the norm, but it's 2015. But every week we'd have the conference call with all the security directors in our region. So it's about 11 security directors, maybe 2 regional security directors. And all of these, generally speaking, were older retired cops. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say they were all dumb, because I actually liked a lot of them. And they did some good things in their career. I stand by that. They could not figure out the goddamn phones. And every week, this is what you heard every week. This is what on every call you heard this. Hey, whoever's typing, mute your computer. Whoever's typing, mute your phone. Rich, is that you? And then finally, after 10 minutes of Mike, was that you? Rich, was that you? Roger would be like, oh, sorry, that was me.
Yeah, that's what I live with. That's what I live with every day. I mean, this is also where I work, Ken. This view is not just here, but also this is what people see minus the headphones. I do AirPods and everything. I use a different computer, but everything I do is on a call, like in 30-minute bites. So yeah, by 11:30, I've had 4 or 5 calls already, and in at least 3 of those, someone forgot to use the mute button. So. Mm-hmm. That's a day. And my garage broke today, Ken, so we're just having a day.
Yeah. How did your garage door, I mean, we don't know how it broke.
Nope.
I guess I'm asking what happened to it. Like, what shape is it in?
So, luckily the structure is still there. Hit the button and it like opened up like a foot, and then it like beeped really loud and then immediately went back down, and that is not a good sign. The garage door should not beep really, really loud, like unless there's something, and there wasn't like a small child or anything stuck underneath of it. You know what I mean? It was just, there was nothing there. And then I look over, I don't know how to explain any of it, Ken, but there were pulleys that were not pulleyed. There were wires that were not tight that should be. Springs are not supposed to be like this. Springs are supposed to be like this, like taut. Yeah. It was not like that. I tried to pull it. That sure didn't work. Okay. So I got a guy coming tomorrow who's going to charge me a boatload of money. And yeah.
Well, what you got to see here, what you got to do is here. You see this hilly deputy broke. That's unfortunate.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this guy give me a quote, and then I'm going to call Sean McCabe and see if the airfare plus labor is even, if that is worse or better than the quote from the whatever guy's going to rip me off tomorrow. So
we're going to tell you what, he's calling in the show. We're going to ask him that in a couple minutes. Sean, get ready. Get your quote ready. We're going to figure this out.
It can't be too hard.
Tongs Day, am I right? Sorry, I stepped on the. We didn't plan the bit. We were both going to yell at Lisa Murkowski. Keep calling her Liz, whatever. Doesn't deserve the decency of her first name. We're going to yell at Murkowski, but I just had to get to it.
It's okay. No, I mean, Murkowski bad, Senate bad, today bad. That sums up most of it. I mean, I can give you numbers. I have numbers and all the fancy stuff, but I don't know how much we care, Ken. It was just all bad. Most of it's bad.
Yeah, no, I care. I care. Where the fuck?
So we're talking about $4.5 trillion in tax cuts over the next from 2017 through 2027, and then on to 2029 when the next ones would roll out to offset the costs, because we need to offset the costs so that billionaires can have their tax cuts. We're slashing Medicaid and SNAP benefits, estimating 10 to 11 million people could lose health insurance, according to the CBO. This is all according to AP News, by the way, Ken. Okay. The CBO also projects an added $2.4 trillion to the federal deficit over the next 10 years. That's not counting economic growth estimates. They did a so-called late-night vote-a-rama to meet the deadline that Trump set for the 4th of July, because, of course, he did. I don't know what a vote-a-rama is, Ken, but it's probably a lot less fun than every other O-rama that has ever O-ramaed. You know what I mean? I usually connote O-rama with something fun or like a lot of food.
O-ramas are fun. Yeah,
not a real lot of old people destroying democracy in a room. But, hey,
Yeah.
O-rama, not Obama, Cal. O-rama.
Yeah.
Hyphen.
No tan suit involved. But what I love, too, is that came out. I've been living this planet 49 years, been paying attention to pop culture, therefore some politics for all of my adult life, but only, the last 10 years have I been really engaged in the political process. So maybe my sample size is smaller than others, but Steve, I love when something pops up like, they're doing a vote-a-rama. Like, that's not, what? That's not real. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's a vote-a-rama. That's what they call it. What do you mean what they call it? Well, in 1913, Henry Cabot Lodge did this thing. Okay.
the Democrats threw out and that wasn't even a Hail Mary. It was more of just being a pain in the ass by reading the bill as much as they possibly could on the Senate floor and just trying to point out like, hey, you all have to, own now that you're saying yes to this, that, and the other thing. So, things aren't getting better anytime soon. It doesn't seem, but
no. And part of what I appreciate the numbers, and part of what is getting me down with it is that you see these political processes, these wheels that keep turning, right? And for the most part, I don't waste too much of my time, or I'm not up at night being like, well, so then it kicks back. Then they add the amendments. It's just something we all learned, or for us in my generation, I'm just a bill. The famous animated lessons that we all learned during Saturday morning cartoons. But part of it, that my the overwhelming feelings and the depression and the confusion and the anger is just that this process. We have all these fucking processes, and it's like none of it's built to help us. It's just this thing, it's just another obstacle in front of you of trying to understand what your life and the other lives around you are going to be dealing with. And that's part of it too. So when I see something like, we're doing a vote of Rama, even though that might be a good thing, it might be Democrats trying to do something, like you said, a Hail Mary, it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Can we just help people? Can we all come together to agree the best way to help people? And the process is getting me down too.
Yeah, I think one of the unfortunate things, Ken, to be short about it, is there's a lot of people in this country that don't think government should help you. They vehemently believe that one of government's purposes is not to help you. It should not exist as little, or it should exist as little as it possibly can. Yeah. And those people have attached that thought process has kind of become, I don't know if a parasite is the right word, but it has just become a cornerstone of an entire Republican Party at this point, and it has kind of grown in a weird way where it's using big giant government to just take government away from other people, if that makes sense. Yeah, the party of small government is doing a whole lot of not small government things in the last 6 months. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but
a little bit.
A little bit. But it's all really not good. But you talk about processes, and the thing that I immediately thought of, Ken, was like, holy shit, dude, I would love some process as far as like processes of like something that actually like hey, like A happened, so B is the consequence, right? It's right now. It's A happens, they say F you, and all gas, no brakes, baby. We're just the train keeps rolling. Like we're not listening to court orders. We're not listening to amendments. We're not putting things in Congress to have them voted on. I'm ranting now. I'm sorry. This is where we are, Ken.
No, but it's all true. That's what I mean by it too, where it's like it's all, it's the decorum that we all hold on to. It is Biden welcoming Trump for the tea. It is all these things where you're just like, what are we doing? And then again, like I said up top, Hakeem Jeffries uses his time to make sure, Mom Donnie's got to clarify his position. Like, fuck off, man. Fuck off, man.
I was smoking the Mom Donnie pack so much last week, Ken. That gave me so much optimism from oh my God, like the Democrats did it. Like they put their beef behind someone in the most paltry way. But hey, the Democratic, primary in New York City is a big deal, right? For mayor. And so, and then watching the establishment tear him down, watching the other side just completely lose their minds about him. And now Trump talking about, well, we're going to look at whether or not he's here illegally. It's just like, that's just, and Republicans have the gall to say that Trump was like witch hunted. You know what I mean? It's just like the whole gaslight, obstruct, project party is just, man, I thought we were going to talk about fun stuff. What happened?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, we're going to talk about. It's a half hour in the show. We're going to talk about fun stuff. All right. Absolutely. I fed some squirrels today. There we go. That's fun.
Good. I'm glad.
No, but
squirrels.
It is on my mind. I do want to touch some grass.
We should.
And it should be on your minds.
Yeah.
But even then, in having some conversations off air with Alden and some other folks, there's only one way out, and it's forward, like I keep saying. And that sometimes you could look at that cynically, or you can just look like we will continue to figure out and fight. And that's why I don't want to wallow. I want to get angry, but I don't want to wallow.
Right. I think we've done enough wallowing for sure. I think we have to talk about the big S word soon. And I think what I mean by that is
Superman, seasoning, Spice Girls.
Strike. I think we have to start talking about a big general strike soon and how serious those conversations get, because the money is the only thing that talks to, obviously, to the billionaires. So
we got to do as the Frenchies.
They figured some stuff out, Ken. I mean, they didn't put up with this shit. A lot of other people don't put up with this stuff. We've got it pretty easy around here. Like not. I don't want to say. I say the collective we. I mean, like, relatively speaking, we as a society have it easy compared to other, even developing nations. Everything, right? Like the fact that we even have something of a social safety net, but the fact that we don't have as strong one as we should relative to our our ability to produce capital. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Is a joke, and the fact that we are so tamped down. Damn it, I thought we were done 2 minutes ago. Yeah, you get it. You know what I mean? One of these days, I think that's one of the conversations we're gonna have soon.
Yes. No, and it's what we do have it, again, generally speaking, we as a country have it easier because I think we feel, if you're in Kyiv right now, you're waiting for the rockets to drop. If you're in the, it's everything's tighter too, right? Like even if some enemy army hits our shores and you're in Topeka, you're less worried about it unless they start. It's just and that's why I look at the French, and it's a Tuesday. Let's protest. Like, you can roll your eyes and laugh at it, as a lot of French do, because it's just part of their makeup. But I've said it's hard for us to give up our Saturdays to go spend 2 hours in front of City Hall holding a sign. Right. It's hard for us as a country to do that. That's just the reality. It's not right. But that's why a lot of it dies, right? As someone else will do that. Our processes will take care of it. It's depressing.
That's where we're at, man.
That's where we're at. All right.
So, all right. With that being said,
Steve, I've done a great job. I've done a great job of saying no to food the last 2 weeks, okay? I've had my fun. Last weekend I had 2 pizzas from Domino's, the $7.99 for 2 mediums, 2 toppings deal. I'm not here to shill for Domino's, but folks, if you're poor and you need a little bit of food the last 3 days, Domino's can hook you up, because that's what I ate, pizza all weekend. But I ate it in moderation. I'm losing weight. I'm down weight. But guess what I did last night? Well, if you follow me on Instagram, I don't even know if you do, but the answer's unveiled there. Late night Dennys, buddy. Late night Dennys.
Yes, I love this. Oh man, one of my favorite food joys in life is breakfast not at breakfast time, Ken.
Steve, what do you think I ordered? This is why you and I are friends, and I can't wait for the first time we ever meet.
Damn it, I'm going to find this picture on my computer.
Put that picture up. Put that picture up on your screen. Or email it to me now. I went with it. So a shout out. I want to shout out Billy Patterson here. Billy Business. He's been working really hard with this guy named Doug Ridley to launch a new YouTube channel called Doug Defends. And I've talked about it here before. Billy's going to come on. Maybe I even get Doug on at some point. Put it in the Discord. I really, really, really would love if you all subscribe. Give it a watch. I think it's good. The first episode is Doug is an actual criminal defense attorney. Been working for like 25 years, has his own practice. And the first episode is him defending Anakin killing the younglings. But the episode is so much more than that. And it's really fun. And I always, anytime there's something about Star Wars, my hackles go up. I'm like, are you going to say the right things? Are you going to say the right things about Star Wars? They do say the right things about Star Wars. Also, it's really fun. But subscribe, leave a comment. Tell them the Blathering sent you. Let's get the word out too about that. But I want them to know that we are in support of them. But they had a premiere event in Moore Park, the city of Moore Park, where Doug is based and his studio is based. So me, Billy Patterson, Ed Greer, Ron Swallow, and producer Bill from the Rebooted podcast, we all went down to, after we left the theater, and we went to the studio, and we were going to get food at a bar between those 2 locations. Moore Park's a smart little town. The kitchen was closed at 9 o'clock. I could rant on that, but I liked the people there, so I don't want to.
9 o'clock?
I despise cities, and this is a smaller city. I despise the idea that late night activities are clamped down. It drives me insane. Just as much as going to the Atlanta airport and ordering a rum and coke on 11 on a Sunday, and they were like, we don't do that here. It's Sunday. No drinks allowed till 2. Like, God's okay with me having a drink in this airport right now, okay? But we ended up in Dennys, and All-American Slam, hot chocolate, Steve. That was my meal.
Oh, Oh man, I will eat so much breakfast food when it's not. Well, I'll eat it at breakfast time too. But if I'm having like late night breakfast food, like low key hits better than late night Taco Bell. I will die on that hill. I will if I've been partying like in various different ways and I need to fill up the gas tank. Give me the pancakes, give me the eggs, the bacon, the toast, the hash browns. Throw a waffle in there, and then give me more hash browns at the end. Breakfast food is so good, Ken.
This is how you do it. No,
I'm gonna have a heart attack at 60, but man, it's gonna be a good ride. It's gonna be a good ride there.
Okay, worth it. My dad had his at 64. He's doing good. Maybe I'll get there sooner to get out of the way. I don't know. But no, I've been eating good. But and I had this moment. I sat down, and this is where I fail. But this is I allowed myself this because I've been doing so good. And I woke up today. I knew I was going for a 5-mile walk today. I still look at that menu, and I go right to the breakfast, and I see the All-American Slam. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. And right above it was the Fit Slam. 600 less calories. Egg whites, spinach, fruit, maybe cottage cheese, but no hash browns, no bacon, turkey sausage. And I was in my head, the voice was like, get that, get that, get that, get that, get that. Then the waitress, Jenny, showed up, and I was like, get All-American Slam, please. Extra cheddar on the eggs. So I failed, but Steve, it was a success. You know, every night that ends up at a Denny's late night, it's a good night.
You don't go to Denny's at nighttime and order the thing with spinach in it. Period. Like it's like now like ever since McDonald's got rid of the breakfast all day stuff. You can't get a hash brown at noon. You shouldn't be able to get spinach at Denny's after like noon, after like 1 p.m. or so. Like it shouldn't. No. That's ridiculous. If you want spinach breakfast, Ken, go to some fancy little bodega shop or whatever, some little breakfast sandwich place that you Californian hippies have. Yeah. Don't go to Denny's. Give me if I want Denny's, I want grease. Damn it, they know what they're doing.
Don't start sounding like Cal, calling us California hippies. I don't even know if Cal's done. You're right, and I did the best at the table in terms of like. Well, I did the best in terms of health. Billy ordered not the moons over my hammy, but it was some other breakfast sandwich, and he was feeling the pain. Ron ordered smoked cheddar mac and cheese where he couldn't even finish. It was in a skillet. I love when food's served in a skillet. That they're like, we don't even need to put this in a bowl. We're taking it from the stove, putting it right in front of your face. It was great. Ed ordered the triple burger because he was just like obsessed with the fact that they were serving a triple burger. Bill ordered an omelet or something too. But goddamn, it was a fun night, man. So shout out to Billy and all that stuff. But yeah, so I want to know too from in the audience and anyone calling in here, what is your favorite late night location? Maybe your late night meal, and if you're at a Denny's. Eat it up. And then the final thing, I'll end my Denny's rant. We'll take a call here. Let's get Sean in here next so we can see if you guys can strike a deal on your garage door. So we had this great, I remembered her name. Her name was Jenny, local college student, Moore Park College there. She was really nice, accommodated us because we were all kind of a bigger and buffer gentlemen that needed a larger booth after we got seated initially. But a robot came out and served our food, Steve.
At the Dennys?
At the Dennys. Remember in Rocky...
Dennys can afford robots?
Yeah, remember in Rocky IV where we had that big robot like, hello, Polly, hello, Polly. It kind of looked like that, but it was a 3-tiered robot, no head, no arms, but it had 3 plates on it, 3 shelves for plates, and it just showed up to our table, and we took the food off.
My first question was going to be, did it have an apron? But then you said it didn't have arms, so I don't know how it would hold an apron. But I still want the robot to have like a little black and white apron with little frillies on the end. Is that sexist? I don't know.
You want it to look like from the Jetsons. What's the robot Rosie from the Jetsons?
Right.
I know where you went with that. I know where you went with that. You're not being sexist. You're like, if you're gonna do this, turn this robot into a housemaid. Yeah,
right.
Like
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then this girl comes back up, and she had some of the items, Jenny, and Ron is like a union rep. He actually works in getting people unionized sometimes, and so he kind of is like loudly is like, "What the fuck is this?" And she's like, "It's our little robot that's serving you." And he's like, "Are they trying to replace you?" And she's like, Maybe. And he's like, "Do you want to unionize?" And she said it so loud. She's like, "Yeah." He's like,
Grandpa,
"All right, yeah. I don't want you to be fired." She's like, I'm quitting anyways. I'm finishing school. I'm getting out of here. But we got to watch for that now. We got to watch for that. Robots. It was Vetnick's right. It kind of reminded me of full Dexter's Diner from Star Wars. Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
That just reminds me of something that my dad would say in a restaurant. I'd be like hitting him in the shoulder, like, "Dad, shut up! Don't say, like you don't need to say that out loud to people."
Well, I agreed with him, but it was like he caught himself. He's like, "Oh yeah, if I yell loudly, do you want to unionize? Unfortunately, that could get you fired because these corporations are bad." But anyways. So that's where we are tonight. If you want to call in, if you want to leave a super chat like Malcolm. Final Dennys thing. Ranger Donald, one of the sweetest people I know, who has been providing me with sports cards for Sports Card ASMR. One time I mentioned I like snacky cakes, and Ranger Donald sent me so many boxes of Little Debbie's and snacky cakes that Josh McCouga and I had to run Ranger Donald and say please stop. Because we've got diabetes 2 forming now. But Ranger Donald, I say that because he's one of the sweetest human beings in the world. But he just challenged me in the way I've never been challenged before. So why hot chocolate, though? Why not hot chocolate? You're at Dennys. It's too late. I'm going to go home and sleep, so I don't want coffee. Get a little sugar rush, and I like the feel of an all-American slam and something in your mug. And you get the little whipped cream, and I get to do the thing where I just go... and I get the whipped cream all over my face. It's so great. I look like, I did start an OnlyFans. It's wonderful. So is there any judgment for the hot chocolate from you, Steve?
No, not at all. I'm very pro hot chocolate. If I didn't want the hot, I would just go chocolate milk because I'm a big chocolate milk guy. So yeah, no, give me hot chocolate, give me chocolate milk with pancakes and bread and eggs. That's like the best thing you can have. Yeah,
it goes together. Coffee would be good, but it's not 9 a.m.
Yeah,
and the other thing is, I won't get too aggressive about it, but I am a hot chocolate person. Cocoa has never worked for me. It's just an awkward description for a drink. Hot chocolate is better for me. I don't do the cocoa.
Oh, you mean just the name? I thought you were saying there was like literally I was going to say,
I
know what the name is. I know what the difference is, obviously, but I don't know if Jared knows the difference between a hot cocoa and hot chocolate, but they are the same thing.
Yeah. Even don't call with that in front of me. Do you want some cocoa? No, I don't want. Stop.
Does that sound too like Polar
There's so many
Express,
syllables.
like
there's so many syllables.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah. It's hot chocolate. It's hot chocolate.
Yeah. When I hear hot cocoa, I just think of like the little girl from the Santa Claus. Like that's just what I know. It's like little elves and like the North Pole. That's what I think of when people say cocoa.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Yeah, I know there's more syllables in chocolate. I know, Addy. I'm not as smart as you. You're a professor. But when someone you want some hot chocolate versus do you want some cocoa? Like it's just too much. It's too much. It's just little daggers in my soul. Yeah. Do you want? And it's soda. God damn! Don't get me started on the rest of you with your Cokes and your pop. Oh God, pop.
Yeah.
God damn pop. All right, so cut a couple super chats. I want to get to Sean here. Mandalorian Jedi, did I get your feet review yet? No. But I'll tell you what, that's tonight. That's I got to be there at 6 o'clock. And Claudia, Darina, and Jen, and any other poor fool in that bar are going to get my feet. I clip my nails and everything, Steve. I'm ready for this.
Prepare. I won't be here Thursday, so I'll be excited to see what you guys, what we uncover and how you get those judged and everything. So we'll have to report back at some other point. But speaking of Darina, I did find proof here, Ken.
Yeah.
Of the fact that we have met, and we've and Darina's even in this picture actually. Speaking of Darina, which is I thought this was a good segue.
Okay, put it up and I'll make you the big screen.
This is proof that Ken and I have met. That is producer Steve all the way on the right. I'm also I think I'm like just a tiny little bit taller than you, Ken.
You are. And you're a strapping lad.
Yeah. And that's me with short hair. Look at me with that short hair.
Look at Steve there. Look at Steve.
Yeah, short hair. Hello. Short hair Steve, and then there's Ken and Joseph and Darina, and then my beautiful Mrs. Producer Steve.
I was gonna say that's your wife, or just someone who's in the photo, and we just let them stand there. Yeah, there you go. I absolutely remember that at that bar,
you go.
A Lulu bar in
It
Chicago.
is real.
Steve is not lying, everybody. You know what? I got to tell you what. I prefer. I don't prefer. I like the long hair. You could do whatever you want.
Thanks, pal. Thanks. I appreciate
LQ
that.
says,
I'm going to take that the best way.
wouldn't recommend. Hey, no, take it. You look great with the long hair. No, you look fine either way. That's why I knew the moment I opened my mouth, I was like, oh, I'm sounding like I'm passing judgment on Steve and his look there. I think you look great. I like the hair. I like the hair long. There you go. I'm jealous.
I do too.
All right, quick super chat here from our buddy Malcolm. Malcolm, these always are great. I appreciate your super chats here. Hey, Ken, hope your feet are worth something. I'm interested to know what's the first time you heard or met someone else with the name Ken, and how many famous Kens represent the name well. Not a ton. Ken Marino's one of my favorites out there from the state and the middle-aged dad jam band. Check him out. Great actor, comic actor as well. Ken Plume. Our buddy Ken, when he and I have had several conversations about growing up Ken. There wasn't a lot. Was not a lot. I had 2 other classmates that I kind of came up the ranks with from junior high into high school. One was a Ken Napier. The other one was a Kenny Cudworth. He was a ball player. He went by Kenny, but the other guy, we were both Ken N's, so we were always called in roll call like together. It was always and Ken NAPs. Once and then I got to the Z, I got bumped out. Yeah. So Malcolm, to your question, did not grow up with them. But of course, Ken and Barbie, and that's why I just watched the Barbie movie the other night again. About the 5th time I've seen the film, I absolutely love that. Still moves me, and I think it might be past the moment, Steve, but I do think I need to get a Knuff shirt. I think my whole life's been leading to that.
I'm surprised you don't have one, or / someone hasn't gotten one for you already. That's a shock to me, especially if you're a fan of the movie.
So Addy says, Tully says, I've tried interacting with Scrimshaw a few times. I'm not sure if he likes me. Or the nickname Joey Scribbles. He does not like that nickname. No. He is Joseph. King's Forecast says Ken Griffey Jr. That's a great answer. Obi-Wan Kenobi. A little too close to my Collider trauma, Sean, but yes, that works. Kenny the Jet Smith. Ball player, right? Yeah, of some sort.
Good job. There you go, Ken.
Ken
Okay,
Loom,
I'm proud.
And Ken Jeong, David McConnell. You guys got Kenny from South Park, yes?
That's where I went. That was the only Kenny I knew from my childhood. The only Ken/Kenny from my childhood was Kenny from South Park.
Yeah. So. And I'll tell you what, the greatest fellow Kenneth I know, Laserbolt. That's his real name.
Oh, Laserbolt lore there. Did not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hidden. He doesn't want the other pilots to know.
So I've got to make sure I never play Fortnite with you, Laserbolt, and Plume, because then I'll say Ken, and no one have any, like, it'll be very confusing. So.
Ken Foray, probably some sort of hockey fuck. Ken Shamrock, Ken Stabler. I stood behind, there's a lot of Kens. I stood behind Ken Shamrock at a hotel bar watching, he was watching a UFC fight. It was during a wrestling convention. And I thought about, do I tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, my name's Ken too? I figured I'd die. I figured he would kill me.
Yeah, I don't know how many more Kens were like currently making that. I'm seeing all these examples, but I don't know how many of these guys were born.
I don't think there's a lot.
1990.
I don't think there's a lot of little Kennys running around, but we'll see. Maybe with the Barbie movie, you might see an increase in some Barbaras and some Kens, some classic names.
Be a little. See, that'll be at Ken. There'll be some new little Ken, and it'll be Ken with like some little Khaleesi, and then that'll be, in some universe somewhere, Ken.
Okay.
Ken and Amelia Clark found their way, and then some little Ken and some little kid named Khaleesi.
You're making me even more happy for canceling the vasectomy I was supposed to have next week. So I called up Kaiser. Hey, I need to cancel my appointment for next week. Like, oh, what's the reason? Let's just say life changed. Let's just cut. Let's get this one off the books.
Hold on, Ken. Hold on. Can we examine this for like 30 seconds?
Yes.
I know you have to go to shit. Imagine you are the poor person. I don't know if it was a man, woman, whoever was on the phone.
Woman, yeah.
I want to imagine it was a woman. That makes this story so much better. Mm-hmm. Imagine you were the woman who's like, okay, this man's talking to me about rescheduling his vasectomy procedure, and I had the audacity to ask him, so why the change of heart? Why? Like, imagine what's going through her head when she's waiting for this answer to come back. And this man is about to tell me why he no longer wants to have a vasectomy. We are not on the therapy couch, Ken. This woman is a professional.
She was nice. It was just like, change of plans. You know,
just be like, oh no, dentist, double booked. Let me call you back. Instead,
I'm out of town. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
no.
then I had to say how long, because you go take, at least with me and Kaiser, like I had to go take watch a video, then I go to this class, and you have like a year from the start of that. So she's like, oh, you only have until November, then it has to start over again. I'd have to do the whole process again. I was like, that's fine. But you're right. I should have just answered, I want to see what Amelia Clark wants. What, sir? Excuse me? I don't know. Maybe she wants kids.
I would love. I mean, I bet she has some. I bet she has some good stories. That's all.
Oh, I bet. Absolutely bet. All right. Let's get some calls in here. We're going to figure out if we can get Steve's garage door fixed. This is why I love this show. You all make it a success. Really, really do. Before this show was just me screaming at people I used to work with in my brain but couldn't say names. Now it's a full, robust show. There you go. Sean's on the line. Shawnee, check it in from New York. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? So listen, I got 3 questions right quick. Steve,
Yeah.
how big's your garage? What's it made out of? And where are you located?
Single car garage. I think it's made out of aluminum because isn't that what most like regular? It's a super regular basic bitch garage door. So I imagine it's made out of aluminum or really light stainless steel. I don't know. I'm not much of a handyman to know that. And I live within 50 miles of Washington D.C.
I'll tell you what, man. Listen, if you're willing to provide a plane ticket and maybe a case of beer, I could save you maybe $400.
All right, well, I'll let you know what the guy says tomorrow, Sean, and we'll talk turkey from there. How's that?
I mean,
Right
this could really work out.
Yeah.
This would be the best blathering connection ever. Like
Do you
maybe
need like
one
a
day
10% finder's fee, Ken, for like making the connection? Do I have to give you a cut
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. No, maybe one day someone in our audience, maybe a couple, meet and fall in love and get married. We had a couple of that in the Schmodown. We had some Schmodown weddings. Maybe we'll have that. But I think this one, Steve gets his garage door replaced and fixed by Sean, would be the greatest blathering connection ever.
And I wouldn't even be shocked if it was necessarily like one option is Sean, like I get him a plane ticket, he comes down, he fixes it. The other option is I just tell Sean, and then all of a sudden, like 12 hours later, a dude knocks on my door and Sean sent me, blah blah blah, and he's got a crew of guys, and I give him like an envelope full of unmarked bills, and we're good to go.
That's also not out of the realm of possibility, buddy. I mean, I've got some close ties to the Pentagon.
I imagine that's a more premium service, so we'll see what the quote looks like, and we'll see what's more cost efficient. So.
Please, man, a pack of cigarettes and a 6-pack will do any combat engineer some good.
There's a knock at your door, Steve, and it's like, hey, I'm Donald Rumsfeld. This is what I do now. Shawnee said hello. I don't even know if he's alive.
Donald Rumsfeld's still with us?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I don't know. Sean, great. That's the first part of the call. But what's your question tonight? Where are you at?
Wondering what your plans are for the 4th of July. What's the standard Ken Napzok celebration?
Do not celebrate it. I do not celebrate it, Sean. I hate fireworks. The history of our country is so complicated. I do celebrate its existence. To be clear, unless anyone out there cancels me, I do celebrate our country's existence. But it is a holiday. Sean, what's your name, Sean? I do not like barbecues. So Labor Day, 4th of July, anything that is turned into a nationwide barbecue, I do not participate on. I do not like them. So,
all right, can we meet in the middle? Do you like eating barbecue?
Yes, I like the food, Steve. Why do I keep calling you Steve? Steve,
hypocrite.
What do you mean? You call me a hypocrite, Steve?
You're a hypocrite. Yep.
Why?
Because you sit here, you like barbecue, but you won't go to the function. You won't go to the cookout, but you'll eat the cookout's food.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay, first of all, this is very important. Cal says I'm uninvited to the cookout. I can't be uninvited to the cookout. It's one of my only cool calling cards. Cal, put a word in. All right. I love the food, Sean. I love the food. And if I was, in your neighborhood and you were like, come on over, we got some dogs grilling, I would be there with an open heart. And this isn't like the polo shirts where I judge. I personally don't like the sitting around sweating onto a flimsy plate of food that's about to fall off that I don't know if I trust the cook. And I have to make small talk around dinner with people I half know. So it's never appealed to me. I've also worked most 4th of Julys back in the security days because it was
So
always
you don't know how to enjoy one.
I guess I don't know how to enjoy one, but how do you enjoy it, Sean? Let me get off my neuroses and talk about how you successfully navigate barbecues.
I sit on the stoop. I got my little Coleman grill. We do burgers, dogs, and the rest of it. And I listen to the sounds of warfare. And
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Being out on the stoop as all that craziness is going off has actually helped my PTSD.
I was going to ask you. I didn't know how to bring it up without like the sledgehammer I normally am. I want to hear more of this. How has it helped you? How do you feel?
You just you put yourself out in your fears.
Sorry, I cut you off. Exposure therapy in a sense.
Correct.
I was just talking about this with Billy last night. Yes.
So the one thing with 4th of July that always gets me is like a random like cherry bomb or something like that. Something that's loud for the sake of being loud.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I get it. But tell me first.
Mm-hmm.
Don't surprise me. So at least with all the big colorful stuff going up in the sky, if I can see it, I know the boom's coming.
Gotcha. I love this. I'm sure this resonates with people. And I feel as though, look, as a kid, I grew up back in a time where pretty much any firework anywhere was legal, right? Get a whistling Pete and set fire to your neighbor's yard, whatever. We don't care. I would work at our church would put up a fireworks stand, and I'd work with my parents selling fireworks to the neighborhood to raise money for God. I don't know what it was, but I noticed, we've had a understandable turn on fireworks in our country, where they're looked down upon outside of a maybe professional display.
Right.
I am one of those people too, because I got neighbors. And it's not my neighbor, but it's just like every community. They're launching the M80s and the cherry bombs and all these things, and they're doing it in the back alley, and they're scaring your dogs, and they're scaring your buddies who might have issues with it. And so it's an interesting time now for fireworks.
Well, like the one thing Melanie really helped me with all of that was, and like she put it into a way that was amazing. She told me that since I was a practitioner of warfare for so many years, to come home here and not be in control of what was going on, that was what was unnerving me.
Yes.
Because being over in the fight, I have complete control of the battlefield.
Right.
Here, I'm just another schmuck out on the stoop.
You're on your stoop. Okay. I appreciate it. That's great stuff. That's great, wonderful insight. I always love when you bring up that kind of stuff that's real and raw. But let's get back to how to successfully enjoy a barbecue. Lauren Romo says this, and Steve, I want your opinion. But, by the way, F you, Steve. I'm a hypocrite means wordplay is legal for 5 minutes in chat. That's ridiculous.
We talked. That's an established rule that we talked about weeks ago.
Should we make some sort of alarm for it? We should. Lauren Romo says the key is being by water, pool, lake, etc. during the barbecue. I reject that on principle too. Pool maybe. Pool maybe. Romo.
There's some good beach parties over here in Rockaway.
Beach. Look, I'm Ken.
Man. Ramones wrote a song for it. It must be good.
I'm Ken. I'm good at beach, but lake. I have the problem with the lake. And
hey, listen, our inland brothers and sisters have to, get what they can take.
That's true. No, Lauren's in Michigan. They don't even know what a beach is. I'm kidding, Lauren. I'm kidding. I know you got Lake Superior. you got a Edmund Fitzgerald, Gordon Lightfoot song of lakes. But yeah, I don't love lakes. They're too dirty. I don't trust it's in the bottom. Pointy, squishy. So my feet aren't going in that. And since I don't take my shirt off in public, I don't enjoy the pools of the barbecue. So so you see, Sean, what I'm dealing with here. It's all in my head. I'm the problem, not you.
Hey, listen, I spend my time out here with the music blasting, dancing with the kids. It's a great night, man. And we've always got room for you.
Okay. I appreciate this. Steve, how do you barbecue?
Well, I have an angle for you, Ken, to avoid all these things that you hate about modern barbecues, apparently, is just go to a tailgate. You can go to a tailgate, you can enjoy barbecue at a tailgate, and you can have a social experience. There's no water, there's no pools, Everyone's drunk and wearing the same thing, so you don't have to worry about how you look or what you're wearing or anything like that. No one knows what the hell they're saying anyway, again, because everyone's drunk, so you don't really have to know what you're talking about. And you just throw a football with a stranger and just, make sure you're just wearing the right jersey.
Yeah, Army Navy tailgate's probably one of the best experiences ever.
Okay, I got it quite. And Chris is in chat agreeing with Romo. Chris wants me to stop hating on the great state of Michigan. Look, they've lied about their style of pizza for so long that I just don't. Chris, I have so much unprocessed loathing for what goes on there. I'm kidding, Romo. But I'm just going to ask the question, okay? Barbecue at a house, your stoop, different maybe situation. You both mentioned the love of tailgating. You show up at a stadium early, you grill, you eat, you laugh, you toss the football around, which is not a euphemism for anything other than a football being tossed around. But the bathroom situation, I can't get involved. I just, what happens with that? I can't do that. You're eating sausages and pork and chicken and slaw and potato salad in a parking lot. Where'd I go with that, Steve?
Well, hopefully you're not going anywhere for 4 to 6 hours. Like if you're eating barbecue and it goes through you that quickly, buddy, we need to hurry up and get you to the doctor before like Trump takes away all your medical care, because
I've got an hour tops.
That's not good.
We're moving and shaking, Steve.
That's not. You need to eat more fiber or something. Throw some applesauce in the morning. You know what I mean? Have a banana. I don't know.
Applesauce gives me heartburn. But so if I'm at
take the cinnamon out. I don't know.
If I'm at Shawnee's house now, first of all, I will say, Shawnee, if I'm at your house and I'm like, hey, can I use the facilities? I know you're going to be welcoming. I don't like away games. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Tracking.
I don't like away games. That's a home game act.
Are you that guy who had to run to his house after school because you wouldn't go there?
Okay, not only school. The first 6 years of my job at the mall, we had a bathroom in the office, and I was famous for waiting to go home. And that when American Pie came out and the character Shitbreak, everyone's laughing. I was like, in the theater, I was like, he's got some good points. You all should listen to him. He's got some good points.
Yeah, you and my cousin Matt are in the same camp.
Where I know some other people who are like, probably laser bolts. Like, all I need is a rock and a dream. I'm good. But me and Vermont Mike, we're over here going, Shitbreak is the guy. All right, I've asked some honest questions. I appreciate the answers, boys.
You would have struggled where I went to college, Ken. The stalls went up to your shoulders.
What did you go to college? Would you go to college in prison? What is this?
Yeah, well, you look over, you'd look to your left, and you'd see everyone from about the chin up.
Impossible. That's cruel. Sean, I appreciate you calling it, and I appreciate you inviting me to the McCabe cookout.
Anytime, anywhere, man.
We love Shoddy. God bless all of you out there who have a little anxiety towards 4th of July because of the reasons Sean was talking about. I think there's some valuable things in there. What does this 8984 says? You be happy you never use a squatting toilet. Yeah, you know why? Because I don't put myself in situations where I have to use a squatting toilet. And I know there was a great legendary comic who's no longer legendary that had a great bit about this, but it's like, you have to plan. I do not eat any amount of food. I do not eat any food without Steve having a plan, as Luthen Rail would say, always know how you're going to get out of this.
Okay. I hear you. That's just maybe like some Imodium or something. I think there are things you can do to help you so that you are not held captive by your diet in social situations. Ken, I want to help you with this. You don't have to live this way. We can fix this. Modern medicine has ways to do this. Look, and I'm just saying, let's move now because in about a week and a half, it might not exist.
Weeks. Yeah, I got weeks. I'm gonna go and sign into Kaiser tomorrow and write my doc and be like, Doc,
just be like, everything is wrong with me. Just everything is wrong. Just give me all of the medicine you can legally give me now. I'm just stocking up. Just write it. Yeah, let's just it's gonna be cheaper now than it will be a month from now.
Yeah. Laserbolt says there's no way to live. That's no way to live, Cat. Everyone poops. Yeah, that's a problem. because Josh McCouga has for several years talked to me about, we got to get you out to a Steeler game. Oh my God, the tailgates are legendary. We get there like 9 a.m. and I'm like, Josh, I can't do a porta potty. And are they going to let me in the stadium? Well, no, it's not open yet. Then I can't do this. I can't do this.
All right, well then we just need to find a really rich friend, Ken, that can. Would you be able to do like? What about a bus? Would you be able to go on like a tour bus or like a nice like RV situation?
Yeah,
like
I'll give that a go. I'll give that a go.
Right, so you just gotta get someone like, okay, there you go, camper.
Okay,
I know some great bird buses as they call them.
Okay,
go to Eagles
bird
tailgates.
buses. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're gonna keep the show going here. What's time check?
I hope so. We're talking potty talk. We gotta move on.
Do we have to move on? We don't have to move on. I'm talking about this all the time.
I'm not a potty humor guy, Ken.
It's not a potty humor, Steve. Steve, I ain't telling jokes, Steve. I'm asking an honest question. Where am I going to shit at the stadium if you're serving me kielbasa's in a parking lot at 10 a.m.?
Best sausage sandwich I ever had, Ken. That reminds me. Best sausage sandwich I ever had was Yankee Stadium. So I'll give your Yankees that. That is the absolute best hot Italian sausage sandwich I ever had in my entire life. I saw a football game at Yankee Stadium. Oh,
what, in the 1950s when the Giants played there?
No, this was like 10 years ago. It was Notre Dame. It was anyway, the best Italian sausage sandwich I've ever had.
I'm happy I learned your limit, Steve, today. I learned your limit.
What, potty humor?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's good to know. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
All right.
We learned a lot of stuff about me. People saw me with short hair. Also, I was very vulnerable today.
Very vulnerable. Steve's very vulnerable. Kingsport Cow says, bring a bag. Come on now. How about I just don't go? All right. Let's bring in some dignity to this show. What a setup for her to come in here. Dr. Addie's here. What is your question? What's on your mind? And you don't need to comment on anything to the show thus far.
I have no comment. I have no comment whatsoever.
Okay. Fair enough. Noted. Let me ask you this question. Now, hold on. Let me ask you this question.
This is nothing I've not been exposed to.
No, you're a scientist too. You know, but let me tell you something. All right. Are you willing to go to a parking lot to eat a kielbasa at 10 a.m.? Does that sound appealing to you? Don't even worry about the other stuff. In the hot summer heat or humid fall, sweat dripping down on a kielbasa handed to you by some dude, like, hey, man, did you try the kielbasa? And it's on a plate that's flimsy. Is any of this appealing?
No, but I have IBS, so that just doesn't sound appealing on several levels.
Steve's going to quit the show. Steve just quit the show.
Right. Look, man, medical conditions are a whole nother, like, I can't, what do I do with that? Like, I'm sorry, like, what all right. Yeah.
Look.
Sounds pretty good to me, though. 10 a.m. That sounds pretty good.
I will say, running has made me a lot more comfortable, or I won't even say comfortable, tolerable of the porta potty.
All right. Okay. I don't even like it when I'm golfing and you hit that, the back nine begins. There's like a bathroom situation going. No, I'm good. All right, Addie, let's move away.
Unlike you and producer Steve, I can't take care of anything in a bush.
Unless you try hard.
I was say that's debatable, but let's move on.
Look, this is great. I love finding Steve's limits. This is amazing. I'm not going to poke you, Steve. I'm not going to poke you. We're just going to file this away. All right, Addie, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, would you like to go? This has been an incredibly silly show for the most part. Yes. Until this point. Mm-hmm. So, would you like to go heavy, or would you like to stay? I need an opinion.
I think we need to give an opinion. I think we're as heavy as my stomach after a barbecue.
Okay, then I'm actually going to ask for two opinions, if I might.
Okay.
The first has to do with Thursday's show, and the people can weigh in on this. Mm-hmm. Steve doesn't get a vote because he's not going to be here.
Ow. There was some. Okay, hold on. Everyone, listen to that. There was a little. There was a little like sharpness in that. Just
sting.
Anyway,
not just a sword in the Lord of the Rings movie. Sting right there. Okay.
Do we want 60 Seconds of Science, the news edition, or do we want 60 Seconds of Science? How do fireworks work?
I want to know the fireworks, but I also don't want to shy away from any of the shit going on. So, dealer's choice. If you can column A, column B. I'm always going to choose both if I have the option. Everyone, Kingsport Cal's going to choose fireworks because he wants to know how he's going to burn down most of Tennessee on Friday.
Okay, then Ken, make sure you check your Discord messages on Thursday because I might need to send you a visual aid.
Okay. Matthew Stokes wants 60 Seconds of Science, the Beating RFK to Death edition, which we don't officially condone for legal reasons, but we could go that way too. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
That would be a good Fortnite skin, RFK. That'd be funny. Yeah, just like really tan in a suit, and you like some of them. Anyway, sorry, shutting up.
Brainworm as a back bling. Okay, Eddie. So that's one opinion.
Okay, second opinion. Because where else do you go but the internet when you need help with life?
Right.
I'm being profiled for the place I work's alumni magazine, and I have to tell them my hometown.
Oh, well. First of all, hold on. Let's give you some flowers there. That's great. That's good, right? This is good. You're being profiled for who you are. A success.
Thank you. I have to come up with newsworthy things to tell them. You've got
the practice from us.
Right now, all I've got is that the last 6 weeks of my life have been a waste of time, money, and effort.
Yeah, leave that out. Okay. So the question is, should you reveal your hometown?
No, the question is, I don't know what my hometown is. I lived in 5 different places before I graduated from high school. I don't consider myself from anywhere. So what would you put down? Do you just keep it easy and put the place where you were born, even though you left before you've had any memories of it? Do you list all 5 of them? Like, do you be really extra about it?
Where do you feel you became yourself? Of those options. And Vermont Mike has a good question. Where did you live the longest?
I have the same question, Addie, because I actually live in the exact same scenario. I was born somewhere, moved very quickly. I went to 7 different schools before I graduated high school, lived in 7 different states before I graduated college. So I also was in the same boat of, I don't really have people say where I'm. That's why my sports allegiances are all over the place. We've talked about that before. Like I'm a fan of this team and that team all over. It's not because I'm a bandwagon fan or a psycho. It's because I've lived like all over the place, right? Yeah. So Addie, my answer to the question was where I graduated high school. When people ask where I'm from, I tell them where I graduated high school from.
Okay.
So here we go. So we got a couple of people asking where have you lived the longest. Mandalorian Jedi, Vermont Mike, Laserbolt says where feels most like home. LQ, maybe it's the one that you have the best memories in. Sean saying where you feel the most connected. Matthew Stokes says home is where the heart is. Also where you're most comfortably evacuating. But that's true. Okay. Lauren Roma has no answer. Just that it's a good question and a great counter question. So where are those answers? Which one of those answers works for you?
Honestly,
what feels most like home?
I think the answer to those questions is all the same place.
Okay.
So that kind of makes it easy.
But it would
never have been my first thought.
The answer wouldn't have been your first thought?
The answer would not have been the first one that I thought of to have to answer that question with, if that makes sense, because it's not. When you think of like people are like, where are you from? Like you think about like where you were a child.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
I was not a child in the place that answers all the questions that the audience has posed.
I feel you on that. Yeah, my life is a little more straightforward in this regard. Born in the city of Orange, California, but very clearly raised in Arroyo Grande, Pismo Beach, the central coast of California. But even to my own question, I became myself down here. I consider Los Angeles my home, But when I say I'm heading home or I'm going to my hometown, I do mean the Central Coast of California. And you're right. It is most associated with your youth. So,
well, and see, even that's what my parents don't even live. My parents live in a place that I've never lived before. So like,
so you don't even get to go home. Yeah, you don't get to go home.
Home is a house I've never lived in.
Yeah. You feel like Steve on a comedy stage at a scatological humor night.
I don't even know what that means.
Don't use big words that even the doctor doesn't know, Ken. That's not nice. I mean, I know what that means, but I don't know if Addie knows what that means.
It just means an entire show of poopy jokes. And I got points from Sean. Addie, you know what? I think without giving them a long-winded answer, but I think maybe you get to explain this, that I don't feel I have a home in the traditional sense of the word, so I have to make a home for myself now. Maybe something like that. Make it sound like a Taylor Swift lyric.
Oh, maybe I'll look up and see what she's got about home.
Hey, Addie, I'm going to give you the glass half full part of this.
Yes.
How about, I don't know where you are in life with different things, but you have a unique opportunity where you can literally make that, like where you're from. Maybe that question has a little of juice that you have to kind of explain a bit. But where your home is, where you're from, home, you kind of have the opportunity to kind of decide that for yourself, which a lot of people don't necessarily get to do.
Yeah.
So that's a unique opportunity you have, and so think of it like that. Like, and that can be kind of like a life goal in your sense. Like, it doesn't have to be right now. Like, it could be 40, 50, 60, like 70. It doesn't matter. Like, but you have that chance to make your home, like, in that way.
That is fantastic advice, Steve. But to be clear, I do not begrudge my childhood 90% of the time.
Okay.
I credit living as many places as I did for making me the person that I am, because I think it made me a much more tolerant person because I experienced a lot of different kinds of people.
See, you're answering it. It's a home run. It's a home run, Addie. You've got the spirit of the answer. You just got to fine tune it and make it a little shorter, right, for the magazine.
Yeah, the problem is that they gave me like these questions like colon, hometown, and I'm supposed to give them like a 2-word answer.
Oh, well, stretch it to a sentence. I would put 3 sentences down there and end it with the Taylor Swift song lyric quote. As it's just like Taylor sings in blah, blah, blah. Home is where the heart is. I don't know what Taylor song. Steve, I failed on the Taylor song.
That's a Natalie Portman movie. Anyway.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
Did you change the subject? Did you quick and we'll come back. Did you all see that I think it was Vietnamese food influencer in Japan who was just set his camera up in Tokyo to eat some sushi, and right next to him was Natalie Portman, but he didn't know it, and he filmed his food review with her just sitting there the entire time. It's amazing. Check it out. Anyways, continue. I've messed up Taylor Swift.
I like that. Do you? Okay. The cynic in me says, is that real?
What?
The Natalie Portman thing. Like,
it's real. No, I've seen the video. Ken Bloom sent it to me 19 times.
Okay. Well, like I said, Ken, we always talk about on this show about always, checking your sources, understand who does this information come from, who benefits from this information being out there, all that kind of stuff. Okay.
No one in chat's backing me. I'm really surprised 898-4M isn't.
The only Natalie Portman story I've heard this week is that her son rushed her into something with some influence. Maybe it's the same video and I just didn't read the story.
I don't know. So, see, 898-4M says, "Wow, it's real."
Well, if Brady says it's real, says it's real, then
trust Brady. Okay.
We should get her on the show, Ken. Natalie Portman, that'd be great.
I have a lot of things to say to her. I have a lot of things to say to her. A lot of things to say to her.
I will have to give away my location because I will be dead, and I will need someone to call the coroner on my behalf.
We'll get some guests on here one of these days.
Well, I don't know what better chance, her Amelia or Natalie. That's kind of like who shows up first. That's kind of the white.
Of those two, based on I would say Amelia would show up first. She'd show up just to be like, "Hi, I need to check in to see how crazy you are.
Yeah,
and
right.
And it would be fun. Okay, Addie, thank you. Did we help you at all?
No, but I will talk about science and fireworks on Thursday.
But okay, we're gonna let you go because I got to get some calls here before I got to go. But Vermont Mike says, "What's Addie's hometown? Do you have the answer? Have you had the answer yet?"
No.
Okay. All right. Report back. Vermont Mike and I want to know. Thank you, Dr. Addie. We look forward to Thursday. No matter what you bring, it's going to be great and informative, and we can't wait.
Of course, Ken. Can't wait.
There you go, Steve. We're helping people tonight, and we're helping you with your garage door.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm so excited. I'll report back on what the kind of quote I get tomorrow. This guy, okay. I'm telling you, Ken, he's gonna try to rip me off. They always do.
They always do. All right, a little. Man, shit. Jared the Tie Pilot's next, but Jared, we might. Jared, let me bring Jared on. Jared, we might have to do that thing.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yep.
Yep.
Because okay. I'll tell you.
I have comments on the calls thus far.
Thank you. I want some comments on the call. Keep the ball moving forward. But I really, we're doing. What are we doing? Season 6, episode 1.
Yep.
See, I wanted to watch it. I've been having fun, like kind of poking around the show again. So I want to try to watch that between now and Thursday night. So we'll do the Game of Thrones Thursday night. But I want you to respond on your thoughts on asphalt kielbasas, hometowns, and everything we've talked about.
So it's on the hometown one. I love everything that everybody said, but my advice to Addie, if you're really just struggling, they just need that one little location, pick your spawn point. Where were you born? Just spawn point. Boom. Spawn point. There we go. Okay. Nice and easy.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. I agree with that. That could make it simple. Yeah, maybe not overthink it. I don't know. All right. Kielbasas? Barbecues?
Delicious.
You seem like a barbecue guy. Are you a barbecue guy? Are you a picnic guy?
I haven't done a picnic since I was engaged to the devil many moons ago.
Wow, Steve, that we uncovered a lot there.
Jesus, I didn't know. Okay,
that's some Jared lore.
I need some therapy couch music. Hold on, let me find some.
Yeah. Engaged to the devil, and you picnicked a lot. Wow. Okay, we got a lot going on there. But okay, but what are you doing for 4th of July?
Working time and a half.
Yeah, right. Ovies, man.
I manage a liquor store, man. What do you think I'm doing? Slinging booze.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love that. All right. Okay. Yeah, but are you comfortable at barbecue? But you seem like you'd be comfortable at a barbecue.
I'm fine with barbecues. I neither overly love them, overly hate them. I'm kind of in the middle. But I'm also weird because I am very autistic and very ADHD combined. So right. I am very all about it until I'm not.
Okay.
And then I'm gone.
Is it the overstimulation? Is it the what makes you over it?
The little of the overstimulation and just my brain shifting back into, your couch is better. There's YouTube. Yeah. Your guitars are at home.
That's going to be me tonight at this bar that I'm at. It's going to be like, this is great, but you know what would be better? My couch in Fortnite.
Yeah. But okay. I have also never tailgated, and that does sound interesting. Though okay. I'm not as bad as you. I share your aversion to the porta potty, but I still will use it if necessary. Because also, like you, Ken, welcome to the doctor's office. Having trouble with your bowels, same as I did. Turns out I actually lack enzymes to digest all my food properly. So going to the bathroom after a meal immediately was a thing. We have discovered these fine little pills right here we take with every meal called Creon. Enjoy that. You won't have to worry about the bathroom situation as bad.
Maybe I need some Creon. Didn't he fought Rocky in Rocky 2, right? Pills is it? Okay. We're getting some good answers here, Steve, from Jared.
We're just looking out for your tummy.
It's gotten better.
It's important.
It's gotten better. I'll tell you what, it's gotten better after I did those 2 years of pretty much full vegan. I don't know what it did. It helped, and I've been better since then. But I got to get back on the horse. Not see a man about a horse. Get back on the horse.
It's
more
processed
vegan.
foods. You try to eliminate the processed foods.
Yeah.
A little more better.
Oh, so just to be clear, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, but for vegans, so animal labor is okay. Just don't eat them.
Yes.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah. What?
I'm just making sure because I don't think you're paying the horse. You're just housing it and feeding it, but you're riding it all the time or whatever. You're not asking it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. That's fair. No, I was gonna say, I was like, why does Steve? Why is he talking about oxen? Like, I don't care about oxen pulling carts. I don't care about that.
Well, I mean. Yeah, well, ask the oxen.
My friend Jen Miro's here in chat. She says, you won't want to leave the bar after you hear the dream I had last night. I'm not even going to read the last of that sentence, Jen. I'll be there with my pants on and shoes off. It's going to be great. Okay. Wait till I tell you the dream I've had. Okay. Any other answers to the questions we've posed tonight here, Jared?
All right. Yep. Also, Steve.
Oh dear. Oh god.
Yeah. Well, other than you cut me off on my Power Rangers tangent last night, we'll let that slide.
Don't bring your blathering backstage drama here. Okay, you keep that there.
That's fair.
Fair. But Mr. Sean McCabe, you don't even need to worry about the flight money for him. New York to DC, give or take, it's about a 4-hour drive. You guys can have a fine gentleman's road trip down together. You go pick him up. This is part of the payment. It'll save you hundreds on flights.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. I agree with this. Steve. Maybe you just fill up some gas tanks.
Yeah, no, that's like depending on the car, that's like two fill-ups on the gas tank. So there and back, you should be fine.
There and back again.
We'll
Okay.
We'll see what we'll see what kind of quote the garage door people give me tomorrow, and if it's like $2,000,
and what
I'm
are you
expecting it to be, we'll talk.
What are you driving that it's 2 tanks to get to New York to DC?
No, I just mean there and back. Like you got to get there, and then you got to fill up. You got to fill up to get all the way there, and then you got to fill up probably to get at some point to get back. That's all I mean.
You got Steve. You got to forgive Jared. You got to forgive Jared because in Boston they have 2 freeways that just drive in fucking confusing circles. And you don't go anywhere.
Underground too.
Yeah,
so
it's a mess.
Like
it's a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Welcome to Mass Ave. Now get the fuck out of my way.
So I've never been intimidated as a passenger in a car as I was in Boston. Mark Ellis and I were just like, we're going to die here on these roads, not from accident, but by just Boston snark.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, Addy, no, boo trains. Boo trains. We don't do trains.
We don't take the trains here. Okay. This is America's problem. I want to hear more of that. I love taking the Amtrak up to my hometown.
I have a phobia. I have a phobia of trains.
Well, okay. I don't want to put you on the spot. Please tell me everything about this.
It's one of those random irrational fears, but at the same time, I don't go a month without hearing about some trail derailment nonsense. And here's the thing about being in a trail derailment. If a plane goes down, I'm perfectly fine flying. If that son of a bitch drops, that's okay. I won't notice when it hits. If the train goes off the rail, that's fucking rebar through the shin and glass in the eye and motherfuckers screaming at me. No.
Get off the fucking train. I got rebar in my knee. Okay.
No, this is bad take.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's not. Yeah, okay. It's if it's your phobia, that is what it is. But first of all, where do you live where you're hearing about train derailments every week? Do you live in Ohio?
The random news and doom scrolling, it finds me, Ken. It's like the algorithm knows to keep that phobia good and alive.
No, I know what you mean. Like I looked up at one point I looked up like an Instagram reel on like a plane crash, and now every day I get reels suggested to me of like, do you want to hear the pilot's last words? And I'm like, I do, I don't, I can't. Oh God, click on it. So I understand you. Okay, but but this is I'm not even poking fun at this. It's you've got some what you acknowledge is an irrational fear, but it's also something that's real. And the answer is, how do we work through it? If Steve and I were to get on a train with you and take it from Boston to DC, like would you attempt to break your phobia?
I can get on a train and do it. Like, you know, going into the city of Boston, you don't drive, you take the fucking MBTA, which is, you want to see me just sweat, white knuckled. I do not stand on the T. If I don't find a seat, I'll wait for the next car. Like, no.
Oh, I love standing.
No.
I always stand on the subways in New York and everything. Just because I'm waiting for Sean to jump me. Okay.
And a long distance one, that would require medication.
What?
Oh.
Which is not a bad idea. I took an Amtrak train from Dallas to Los Angeles, took 3 days. And when I'm with Steve on that one. I don't want to talk about the bathroom situation on that train. My friend picked me up at Grand Central Station in LA or Union Station, where the hell, or downtown. And I looked like I had been in a circus and I was the elephant. Okay, so what about at Disneyland, or the less exciting Florida equivalent, Disney World, with the trains
that's
there?
A lot of hate.
It's just, you ain't the original, kids. You ain't the original. What? If Steve and I were to get on the train with you, does that train cause you problems?
Last time I went to a Disney, I was a freshman in high school 26 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know. Okay.
I enjoy theme parks and roller coasters, but I am a Six Flags person over a Disney adventure. I don't need the magic. I need the rides.
I feel you. No, totally fine. No, judge. That's a personal thing. No problem. I need to feel like some sort of Tinkerbell fairy character is carrying me into heaven or something. I just love the characters. But hold on. This is, again, not poking fun. Asking how some of these phobias work. The phobia of the train, it makes sense to me. You're saying things that make sense to me. But you ride roller coasters, which are more rickety, and in my mind, more dangerous and with the ability to kill you faster. What's the difference?
Oh no, the statistics do not back you up, good sir. You are safer on a excuse me. You are safer on a roller coaster than you are in a plane, train, car, most forms of transportation. Roller coasters are quite safe, good sir.
Okay, but you got that rickety one up in Ohio with what Cedar Pines or Cedar Point, whatever, that goes to the heavens. Yeah,
that's a great.
You've been on that?
Oh,
You've
yeah,
been on
300 feet of goodness.
Steve, what do you feel about this?
I wanted to do some quick research on the rates of trains and roller coasters and stuff. I mean, I imagine the roller coaster, because if the roller coaster goes bad or something happens, they shut it down forever or whatever. Like, it gets repaired for a long time. Trains.
No.
If there's a train accident, they clear the track and the train. The trains keep rolling, baby. Like they got to keep going. So you have a better chance of like fixing the problem with a roller coaster when something goes wrong. I feel like, right?
See,
like,
no. Steve,
Addy is screaming that the son of the beast killed people. All right, okay.
They don't close the roller coaster forever. You have not heard of my beloved Six Flags in New England, where we have our famous ride is the Superman roller coaster. Opened in '99. I have a fun story about being on the first car a long time ago. We'll get to that another time. But that roller coaster crashed 3 or 4 times. Minor injuries. Nobody's dead or anything. The brakes were So that started to happen. So instead of like doing anything, they fixed it, but they just painted it purple and called it Bizarro and just kept it rolling. And then eventually, after so many years, after they had fixed the problem, no more crashes, nothing like that, they just repainted it red again, and Superman won the fight.
Well, it's Superman, so he's cheating a little bit there. I do have some very quick figures on this.
Okay, get some quick figures. Ranger Donald says dying by roller coaster makes a better story than it was a heart attack that did him in. Not wrong there, Ranger Donald. Okay,
that's
totally.
That's a good point.
Hit me, Steve.
1 in 16 million rides results in a serious injury from roller coasters in the United States. There's fewer than 5 deaths per year in the United States across all fixed-site amusement rides. So your traveling carnival, don't get on the traveling carnial ride.
No, never do that.
Never do that.
Never.
Yeah, so a fixed-site ride is something like Disney or Six Flags, like we said.
Okay.
But as far as trains, though, 600 to 900 people die annually, but most of those are actually trespassers or people on the tracks or vehicles that collide with trains, not passengers. Fewer than 10 passengers die in train crashes nationwide per year.
Oh, so this is a difference of 5, Jared. It's the difference of 5.
Still safer.
You're not wrong.
Technically, right is the best right.
Okay. All right. Look, I ain't gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do, Jared. But if I'm in Boston, we're gonna ride that train around once. We're gonna have to go choo around the city.
We will. That's how we get around.
Okay.
I've made my fate with that.
All right. Jared, Thursday we will do the game of
Thursday.
Thrones.
Absolutely good, sir. Everybody stay safe.
There you go, Jared the TIE Pilot, who apparently got into a bit of a tiff with producer Steve on Blathering backstage. I don't know.
No tiffs at all. No tiffs at all. So something happened. Addie or someone asked a question. I'm not blaming anybody. And then Jared started talking about Power Rangers for like 10 minutes, and I had no idea what was going on. I was just playing Battlefront, and I was just kind of letting him do his thing. And then I realized, Jared's been talking about Power Rangers for 10 minutes. I should probably do something. And I couldn't get him. I couldn't get him to land the plane. Ken. Okay. It was rough.
Couldn't anyway, you got to land the plane. All right, let's do this. All right, Brady. We got Brennan. We got Kingsport Cal. And then I'm going to go drink at a bar. Brady, you're here. You want to say that cars are safer, more dangerous than buses, which is probably true. But also, what else is on your mind?
Well, now I'm shy to get on this topic. But
What shy? The trains?
No. I'm talking about shit.
The poo-poo. You want to talk about poo-poo?
Shitting in public.
Yeah. You're a bus person. How do you manage?
Okay, first of all, most transit places don't have bathrooms, unfortunately.
Right.
Maybe fortunately.
For good reason. Have you seen the bus stops?
Yeah. I get it.
Okay.
But I just gotta say, when you're out and about, when nature calls, your mind doesn't care.
Right. Science.
Yeah.
Science. Okay.
And so what you gotta do when you're in an emergency, right? You gotta turn on your little janitor brain, and bathrooms they also have soap, right?
What's happening? What's happening here?
I tell you how to survive.
I'm understanding that. I'm not understanding. What are you suggesting, sir? You use soap to clean up the seat you just shat down on the bus?
No, before.
All right, Steve, I know you don't want to talk about this.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Animals.
What do we interpret Brady, if you're on the bus and you gotta go and you pull the little bus brake and then get off the next stop and find a convenience store or a Target or a box store that has a bathroom, or you grab soap, apparently?
Yeah. What you wash your hands with, you got to use soap and you got to wipe down wherever,
What is happening when you... Steve, are you with me?
You got to sanitize the place.
You're missing a step here, Brady, in your story. Let's run it through again. On the bus...
Okay.
You've gone to a barbecue at Sean McCabe's house. You're on the way home. Yeah. The bus is going slow because buses do, and there's nothing against buses. And then you got to go.
Stuck in traffic.
Do you leave the bus?
Oh, what do you think I'm saying?
Because you've missed a step. You've gone, as Lauren Roma says, I'm lost. Vermont Mike says, you leave the bus to get a bar of soap. No. Where does the potty come into this equation?
I'm saying, like, when you're in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, I've been in one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You have you're in a public bathroom. There's soap.
Right.
Yeah. Usually, hopefully there's soap, and you use the soap and you wipe down wherever, like the toilet.
Oh, the surface.
The surface. Any surface that you're going to come in contact with.
Oh, for the love of God, just put toilet paper down and move on with your day.
Yeah, but regardless if you put the little the paper or clean it or use soap, you left that out. And quite frankly, Brady, I thought you were suggesting that you shit your pants on the bus and you use soap to clean yourself. No. And in your reticence to talk about this, you made me think of something far worse than you were suggesting.
Yeah.
What is the bar of soap?
We live in a society.
I was like,
society.
Does Brady walk around with an Irish Spring bar in his pants on the off chance he needs to go, what's happening here? But yes, clean down that thing. I'm with you on that. I don't necessarily use the soap, but I'll give it a rep. I don't like. Okay. Now I'm in Steve's category. Okay, Brady. I think this is good advice. You got there. You landed the plane eventually. Where Jared's still trying to do that with Power Rangers.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I launched the plane without the.
You launched
right...
You launched the plane. You launched a plane without a bathroom, is what you did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds. Brady, any more answers to questions? What do you do at barbecues? Ask the owner.
Sure.
Ask the owner of the house if they've got soap.
Just don't give it back.
I think that young man took our soap, honey. He went in the bathroom and took our soap. Brady, you're stealing the show tonight. This is amazing.
I'm never living this down, am I?
No, you're not. No. We got there. We got there. We got there eventually. All right, Brady. Any final thoughts here before I send you on your way to get some soap at the store?
Well, Ken, what situations have you survived?
Okay, yeah. What situations have I survived?
Instead of logical humor, whatever.
I peed my pants playing kickball. It was second grade. I pooped my pants coming home third grade.
Starting in second grade.
What are you talking about, Brady?
This is why we got to use the public.
Please keep going. I was wondering how long the timeline was going to go. Second grade, third grade, fifth grade, middle school.
It got better. It got better. I stopped public bathroom problems after the third grade, Steve. I confronted white supremacists and thought all my buddies were behind me at the job, and I turned around. They were gone. I had to stare down 8 of them. I got out of there alive. What do you mean? What do you mean?
That is a brave situation right there.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I survived it. What if you survived, Brady?
Well, sometimes porta potties that's stewing in the beach, and I was the one who left it cleaner than it came into. I'll just leave it at that. I was.
They call him the porta potty fairy. He shows up, cleans it, and leaves. No one knows his name. Residents report cleaner bathrooms after that man goes in than after he leaves. Okay, or before he leaves. Brady.
We live in a society. Come on.
We do live in a society, and I agree with you on that. Brady, we love you. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, bye.
He's out of there. He's out of there faster than Kelsey Plum with a fiance that makes a rap song. By the way,
who's
Steve,
now a Miami Dolphin.
He's a Miami Dolphin. Sports news. We're getting ready to come back to some sports news here. We're getting ready to come back to some NFL segments. The Miami Dolphins have spent the last 2 days breaking my heart, lifting my heart, confusing my heart. It's been a journey these last 2 days as a Dolphin fan.
I think we're 64, 65-ish days from NFL kickoff, Ken. I've noticed today, I put this on Blue Sky, but I noticed the chips now, Ken, have now officially gotten to week 1 of the NFL.
Right.
That means we're close. So, chips are expiring around that. That's how you know we're really close to football season. So we're getting there. Yeah, I'm not sure if your Dolphins are a serious football team anymore, Ken.
I don't think they are.
We'll talk about that more.
Do I like Minka Fitzpatrick coming back? Potentially, if we make him happy, put him in the right position. But letting Jonnu Smith go because we couldn't afford him, basically, and then getting a retired guy who released a rap video to apologize or also say maybe I was right. I don't know. It's a weird situation.
It's a weird situation, but hey, your coach still looks really good in those Lululemons, and
he does.
You still got,
I predict he's going to get serious this year. All right, we have. I've got to get drinking soon here, so we're going to bring back to the show our buddy Brennan Marr. Then we're going to close with Kingsport Cal, and I'm looking forward to. I tell you what, I got to be honest with you, a little frightened about what Kingsport Cal is going to say on this show this week. There's so many. We've left a lot of door opens for Cal to run through, and he's sitting there on his couch. He's sitting on his couch. I see him on his camera going, "Me can me." You know what I'm talking about here. Tully's Steve acting all chill now, like he wasn't giggling like a Care Bear for the last. That actually Tully was his Care Bear name, Giggles. They called him Giggles. All right, let's bring some dignity to the show with Brennan Marr. Brennan, how you doing, my friend?
So I have to be the one to bring the dignity? Oh, darn.
Well, you don't have to. Quite frankly, Brennan, you don't have to.
No, I got to elevate the porta potty conversation. Apparently,
you're like Brady cleaning a porta potty. You gotta make it better.
I don't know what's going on in the chat here. This is crazy.
What's going on, Brennan? How can I help you tonight?
Well, it's we were talking about hometowns where we're from. So I was born in Provo, Utah.
Provo, got it.
And then we moved to the Bay Area when I was like 1. So
right.
And then we moved into our current house when I was 6. So.
And that's without giving you
San Jose.
San Jose, yeah, without giving your address or cross streets. You're in San Jose. So which one do you consider your home then?
San Jose is my home.
San Jose. And it's 6. Yeah, see, I moved to Central Coast, California at 7.
We lived in Santa Clara for a while, and then we moved to San Jose.
You basically, you lived where all the places that the 49ers have played. That's great.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. That's great. I think that's great because that's where you feel the home truly is where you settle.
Well, like when I die, don't bury me in Provo.
Oh, I'm not. No, I'm keeping you out of Utah.
I'm like
no.
Bury me in San Jose.
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. We'll bury you under the ice at the Sharks rink. Okay. We'll keep you there.
Too cold.
Too cold. Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, but it's interesting to consider that I've lived in the same house for almost 34 years.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. Well, you're not.
Well, that's not the case.
Well, you're not alone. Ranger Donald earlier in chat, he's said basically he's been born and raised and still lived pretty much on the same street his whole life. So that does happen. You're rarefied air. You and Ranger Donald.
Right. Yeah, and I went to this is where I lived. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school.
Now, do you have any memories of being up towards San Francisco? I know you don't have memories of living in Utah, but clearly visiting. But do you have any memories of San Francisco of a young age?
No, because we never lived in San Francisco. So.
Okay. So no memories of San Francisco, which is fine. It's not one of my favorite cities.
I don't visit it often because it's too cold.
It is cold. It is, every 5 minutes is a new weather system.
Well, the weird thing about the Bay Area is these microclimates.
Yes, the microclimate. Yes, exactly.
You go to San Francisco, it's really cold. You go down here, and it's nice and warm.
Yeah. Do you prefer the warm? Are you a warm weather guy?
I love the warmth. So summer is my time of year.
Love that. I like it. I like colder. I prefer cold, but I can live in the warmth. Not with what Steve is living with right now.
I was gonna say we cut the NOAA, so you don't have to worry about microclimates anymore.
Yeah. That's true.
Addie degrees here today, so.
Yeah, no, it's a hot one here today too. Addie says I get antsy and ready to move after about 4 years. I envy people of hometowns, to be honest, but I'm also grateful for the experiences I got. Yeah,
Addie, if you're in San Jose, come visit.
Come on down. Brennan will treat us all to awesome blossoms. That's the plan.
We need science. I need science with Addie.
We do. And it'll be back Thursday. Brendan, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate you sharing.
The last thing I wanted to say real quick is
please.
4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
Things are a little nuts right now in the
country.
Bit. And
a little bit.
I think some people might be afraid to be patriotic on the 4th, but to me it's like, well, I'm more interested in. I mean, my allegiance is to the Constitution.
My allegiance is to democracy.
Yes,
Obi-Wan.
Democracy in the Constitution. It's not to parties or anything.
Yeah, no, Brennan, you said something I really agree with there too, and that's what I said earlier when I was talking with Shawnee. I was trying to clarify, like, obviously there's there's some complicated histories in our country and everything like that, but I still live in the present, and I still choose to live in this country, and I still love this country, and I still want the American flag to mean something more than maybe it means now.
I'm gonna fly the flag and not be ashamed of that.
So hey, celebrating it with some sincerity, cracking a beer if that's your thing, eating a hot dog if that's your thing, or just being with family and friends. I think, Brennan, you touch on something I do want to leave
I think
us
to me,
on.
It's like the Constitution is what's important.
There you go. Well, there you go. Celebrate the Constitution on July 4th. Have a Constitution dog.
Are in the Constitution.
There you go. I appreciate it. No, great point. I actually agree with you there, Brennan. I appreciate you, buddy. All right.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
All right, Brennan Mystical Mar. Check out his podcast, The Page Turners They Were Not. We love having Brennan in here, as always. And, Sean says amen to that, too. We're almost done here, but we're not quite done here, Steve. But I want to check on you, make sure you're okay. Did we cross any lines with you tonight?
No, I'm fine. I'm just, potty talk just isn't like my thing. That's all. I'm just not a, potty humor just isn't like my go-to. I just don't love
you it. And Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis does not like scatological humor. Does not like it.
I don't know. Just not my. I don't like it. You know.
Okay. I don't lead with it. Yeah. I don't celebrate it. I just think it's hilarious.
Oh, hey, no. Love is love, Ken. You like what you want. You like whatever you want, but it's just not my cup of tea, not my bag, as an international spy, man of mystery once said.
All right. Like it yeah, okay. All right, we'll move on. I was going to say something else. Okay. Speaking
I'm sorry to poo-poo on your fun, Ken.
No, I know where to stop with you. Now I know where to stop with you. Okay. I know where to pull back. I get it. Is
that wordplay, by the way? I think that
no, it's not wordplay. Fuck you with your wordplay. Let's close this show down. With Kingsport Cow. Kingsport Cow, please, for the love of God, tell me I still have an invite to the cookout.
Kitty!
Jesus.
How you doing, buddy?
Jesus.
How you doing, man? How you doing? Are you?
I'm okay. I had it.
Oh, you might okay. Keyboard.
You might have just blown out my ears. Saturday morning, I had an absolute kind of nervous breakdown, freak out at 6 a.m., but I'm okay. I'm recovering. I'm going to go hang out with some friends tonight. So, yeah, Kingsport Cal, I'm doing good.
Ken, if I send you some weed through the mail, will you smoke it?
Let me just say,
he lives in California. You don't have to send it in the mail, Cal.
After today, I don't know if that's the wisest thing. With what's going on right now, I don't know if that's the wisest thing. Would I smoke it?
Yeah.
I don't think I would, because I don't think I would know how. I know I hold this fake cigarette as a prop, but it's something to just kind of distract me. But I don't think I smoke things well.
Anyway, Ken, that's not my question. It's been a while, and yes,
we're moving on. Okay, we're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on. There has been some shenanigans that has happened in the couple of weeks. And like Addie does, I've been listening, been wanting to come in, but can't because it's already happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on those. I got a couple questions here. I chose two because you weren't here last Thursday, whenever you would see Superman.
Also, I've seen Superman.
Sub question: you still going to do that Dutch Island review after the embargo lift?
Oh yeah, okay. You want me to do it? Yeah, I'll do that on Patreon. Yeah, I'll do that Patreon.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
remind me. Okay.
Steve, that's your job.
Okay.
Anyway, remind Ken.
Yeah, I'll put that on my list. Hold on.
Yeah, you probably will.
Wipe your ass with that list. Okay.
Yeah. Wipe your ass and play some Battlefront 2. That was. I like Steve's little game things. By the way, those are fun.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah, they are great.
Okay. Okay. So that was your first question. What's your second question?
No, that's not my first question. Anyway, my first question is this.
Yeah.
If the chances you seem to think that you have a chance with Amelia Clark. Okay. Is that not true?
Do I realistically have a chance with Amelia Clark? No. I'm a schlubby podcaster in Burbank, California. I do feel that if I was to sit down with her for 20 minutes, that she'd be like, you know what? There'd be worse things in the world.
I can fix her Amelia Clark.
No. I just think she would be like, she dated Seth MacFarlane. She'd be like, he's kind of a weird, funny dude. Like, okay.
Oh, okay. Fair.
His stances on polo shirts are a little strong.
You know what? That actually improves your chances by at least 0.5%, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But do I really think so, Cal? No, of course not. And by the way, I'm ready to be dead and buried alone.
Well, again, that's a whole nother thing. But I want to touch on that real quick. But
okay, that's the third question.
Under that logic, that if you sat down and have a 20-minute conversation with Amelia Clark, you think you might could get a chance.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. Despite what I feel about myself, despite who I am and what I look like, my dating record, if I was to put it down on paper with pictures, every one of you, because you all are familiar with the my most recent relationship, which is still with someone I'm very close with and very friendly. I want everyone to understand that. This is not going into those details. But if I was just to put it down on paper, all of you would be like, holy shit, what's this guy's secret? That guy? Especially when I was wearing polo shirts and cargo pants.
Ken, I didn't need to know all this. I already know this, by the way. I didn't need to know all this. I was preambling that question to ask you, if you think you have a chance with Amelia Clark, what are the odds that if I sat down with Katy Perry for 20 minutes, that I'd have a shot? Think I'd have a shot?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay. I don't know what's happening anymore, Steve. I don't know what's happening.
I just wanted to make that clear. I just want to know how much you...
Hold on, Cal. Post space Katy Perry. I mean,
no. Katy Perry's single now. Katy Perry.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, is this true? This is true. Orlando Bloom and her are kaput.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. We're a tabloid show.
This is possible. If I take a train to wherever the hell Perry lives, if I see her, do I have a chance?
Don't do that, Cal. I'm gonna preface everything with don't do that.
Yeah.
I know, of course not, but I have to, as a responsible human being, we have to say don't do that.
I'd rather you send me drugs through the mail than go stalk Katy Perry. Okay.
I'll see you drugs. Now I've got one last. This is my second question. I know I peppered in a little bit, but no, I have to ask this.
This is at least the fourth question.
You're up to 4. Do I what?
Appropriate.
Okay.
This is appropriate. Anyway, a lot of people asking little sub questions before they even get to their actual questions. Ken, don't give me this shit. Anyway.
Fair enough. As long as I keep my cookout invite, you can ask another question.
I don't know. You said you don't want to go to cookouts. I don't know what to do with that.
I want to go to the cookout, Cal. I want to go to the cookout.
Okay.
It's a different experience. I don't want to sit around with a bunch of white people going, yeah. What do you think about the Eagles? I want to go to the cookout.
Whoa, ow.
Well, I have enough room. I can bring in a stripper pole if that so appeases you, Ken. But anyway.
What?
Nothing. Never mind.
Press forward. Go ahead.
A t-shirt has to have the proper collar. It has to fit your neck. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I do
understand. It can't be too tight. It can't be too loose.
Right. Bacon neck.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why every t-shirt, I don't care if it's Walmart or if it's at the damn vintage store or whatever you want to call it. I'll have to wear the shirt because I have to see how the collar fits. Does that make any sense?
So when you go to Walmart in Johnson City, Tennessee, you go to the T-shirts, you rip them out of the package, put them on, and then decide if you want to buy them or not?
T-shirts are hanging, Ken. I'm
Not
talking
the ones
about
I
when you
buy.
go to thrift stores, when you go to anywhere,
okay.
T-shirts are hanging.
Okay.
And I can go to Walmart and find a hanging
don't-
T-shirt, Ken. I don't know what the else to tell you. I don't know I don't know how they do it in California. But we have T-shirts on hanging.
To quote the great LQ, what is happening? What's your question here, Cal?
Don't be afraid, LQ. Don't be afraid. My question to you is, do you know how a collar fits you on a T-shirt? Now, sometimes you put a T-shirt on, and that collar snugs the neck.
Yeah,
it snugs the neck.
You're too tight. Okay.
Sometimes you put a T-shirt on, and sometimes you put a T-shirt on, that collar's just hanging off of you around the neck. It's
loose.
almost collarbone showing.
Bacon neck.
You see
Bacon
what I'm
neck.
saying?
Yep.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see
All right.
what you're saying. Yeah.
What is
Now,
the question?
What's
The question basically is, which do you prefer? Do you want a loose collar or do you want a tight collar?
Tight, Cal. I want it tight because if it's loose, I feel self-conscious. I feel too many things are being exposed. I look schlubby like I used to look. I want it to be tight. But then the problem is if it's too tight, I start going, I'm not fitting in this shirt properly. I'm a little bit of a tug-a-lug here, and this is going to be a problem. So I have to, it's a little like Goldilocks. I got to find the perfect shirt right in the middle.
Now, here's another thing, Ken. Here's another thing to add into it. The tight collar, what I find for me is that a tight collar, the ratio of the sleeve length to my elbow is greater than a loose collar shirt.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know if it makes sense.
But no, it does make sense to me, Ken. That's what I'm trying to convey to you.
I want to go drink. Cal, can I go drink?
I know you want to drink. I'm already drinking. I'm surprised you're not. Anyway,
we know.
Steve, you see what I'm talking about. The shirt is not fitting the length anyway.
I don't know what you're talking.
So what's the deal? What's the deal? Is this right? Is this right? What are we doing?
Is this like one of
Put
those
your arm down, Steve. Put your arm down, Steve, and see how long that sleeve goes to it gets to your elbow.
It's like
3
inches, 5 inches, 4 inches.
It's about this.
6 inches. Yeah.
About
Okay. What's going on?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm talking about proper lengths of T-shirts and collar fit. It's very significant, and I'm surprised. Y'all act like I'm the only person who ever thinks about this. When you put a shirt on, it's very crucial to a T-shirt, to the length from your shoulder.
Why don't you put out an Amazon book, sell it for on $4.99, self-published book? You make some money on this.
I'm starting to think white people don't know how to dress themselves. They won't even wear
They
polos.
don't know how to dress themselves. They don't.
I don't understand.
They don't, because 90% of my chat will try to tell you a polo shirt and cargo pants are right. We don't know how to dress ourselves, Cal. That's why I'm invited to the cookout.
Yeah, so we can make fun of you when you come with your. Anyway, yeah.
All right, Cal.
I don't know.
I'm gonna let you go.
You're the best. Get out of here. I'll send you some weed. I'll smoke it.
Thank you very much.
Your problems.
Okay, kicks for Cal. Out of here. He's out of here, Steve. I actually really enjoyed this show, Steve. I thought we did a lot of good work tonight.
Yeah, is that what we did? We had fun. You're so late. You're gonna be so late to the.
I am late. I am late. Yeah. Roger says, "Wow," and that is the new title of this episode. Wow. No, it's great. I'll be back Thursday. Steve's gonna be out Thursday. Probably not doing a show Saturday because I think I'm just gonna take it easy for the holiday weekend. I do have a 4th of July show at Flappers in Burbank Friday night, 4th of July. The fireworks will be on stage. Hey. That is it. We'll see you all next time. As we love to say here, bye.